The Tale of Pip the Pumpkin, a Race to Remember. In the quiet village of Willow Creek, surrounded by rolling hills and peaceful fields, autumn was a time of great excitement. Every October, villagers gathered for the much-anticipated Great Pumpkin Festival. This year, the festival promised to be bigger than ever, with games, pumpkin carving, treats like roasted seeds and pies, and the grandest event of all, the annual pumpkin race down Willow Hill. The pumpkin race wasn't just any race, it was legendary. Villagers would grow pumpkins all year, nurturing them with hopes they'd be strong enough, heavy enough, and perfectly round for racing. To win was an honor, with a gleaming golden trophy and a place in Willow Creek's history. And in every home, tales of past champions were told to excited children around the fire. This year there was a newcomer to the race, a young boy named Max. Unlike many other participants who came from long lines of farmers, Max had a small garden in front of his cottage, just enough space for a few plants. His pumpkin, named Pip, was neither round nor large. Pip was bumpy, lopsided, and definitely small. Yet Max had taken special care of Pip, talking to him, watering him daily, and even singing songs while pulling out weeds around him. Max believed Pip had a spark, a little personality of his own. But as the festival drew near, some villagers laughed at the sight of Pip. "You can't seriously think that pumpkin stands a chance, Max," the older farmers would say. Their pumpkins were massive, shiny, and smooth as polished stones. "Look at Thunderbolt here," said one farmer, pointing to his giant pumpkin. "The biggest pumpkin in town. He'll roll down that hill like a boulder." Max didn't mind the teasing. He knew Pip was special in his own way. One evening, Max and Pip had been practicing on the small hill behind the cottage. Surprisingly, Pip's unusual shape allowed him to move in a funny zigzag pattern, bouncing lightly off rocks and barely slowing down. Max had a feeling Pip might be unpredictable on the hill, and just maybe that unpredictability could help him win. When race day arrived, excitement filled the air. The village square bustled with villagers and visitors alike, laughing, chatting, and eagerly awaiting the big event. Willow Hill was prepared with rows of hay bales marking the path, and at the bottom stood a grand finish line decorated with autumn leaves and colorful flags waving in the breeze. Each racer took their place, lining up their pumpkins, some painted with silly faces or wrapped with ribbons for luck. As the bell rang, the race began. Pumpkins of all shapes and sizes began rolling, bouncing, and tumbling down the hill, each racer cheering on their own with shouts and laughter. The larger pumpkins, like Thunderbolt, barreled down with great speed, crushing small pebbles in their paths, while others rolled smoothly, staying on course. But Pip was different. Pip didn't just roll. He darted, spun, and zigzagged, dancing down the hill as if he had a mind of his own. The crowd burst into laughter at Pip's unique moves, though a few were amazed to see him darting ahead of the bigger pumpkins. Max, watching closely, could barely contain his excitement. Midway down the hill, a steep curve awaited, and many pumpkins were rolling too fast to steer around it. Thunderbolt, with his massive size, couldn't change direction in time and tumbled straight into the hay bales, getting stuck. Other pumpkins spun out as well, losing momentum, but Pip, with his light frame and quirky shape, zigzagged right around the curve, his bumpy surface giving him just the right grip. Max cheered wildly as Pip pulled into the lead. Yet the race was far from over. Ahead lay the most challenging part of the course, a section known as the Pumpkin Pit, where the path was scattered with rocks and small holes. The larger pumpkins had the advantage of size to roll over obstacles, but Pip would have to navigate carefully to avoid getting stuck. Max held his breath, whispering, "Come on, Pip. You can do this." With a nimble hop, Pip jumped over the first small hole. The crowd gasped as he landed and spun, then bounced again, weaving his way through rocks with a surprising grace. It was as if Pip had been born to race, his odd shape working like magic to help him dodge and dart where the other pumpkins struggled. As Pip neared the finish line, one final challenge awaited him, a big log blocking part of the path. Max's heart raced as he saw Thunderbolt's owner, along with some other farmers, leaning forward, anticipating that Pip would be slowed down or stopped. But Max knew Pip had one last trick. Gathering speed, Pip rolled straight toward the log, and just when it seemed he'd crash, he bounced up and over it, landing with a twirl. The crowd erupted in cheers and gasps of amazement as Pip crossed the finish line, securing victory with style. Max ran down the hill to meet him, laughing and lifting Pip high in the air. The villagers clapped and cheered, gathering around to congratulate Max and admire Pip's bravery and agility. As Max and Pip stood at the award ceremony, the village mayor presented them with the golden trophy. "In all my years," the mayor declared, "I have never seen a pumpkin race quite like this. Pip, the great pumpkin of Willow Creek, has shown us all that sometimes it's not size or strength, but heart and spirit that make a champion." From that day on, Pip became a legend in Willow Creek. Each autumn, the villagers would gather, telling stories of Pip's incredible race, and Max would smile, remembering his lopsided, brave little pumpkin who proved that even the most unlikely heroes can achieve greatness. And so each year in the golden days of autumn, Pip's story would inspire young racers, reminding them that no matter their shape or size, they too could roll to victory.